Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's November 4th, 2022 afternoon. Ran down here to do a couple of projects down by the beaver ponds and all. And one of the things I wanted to mention is when I'm doing a job, whatever the job may be, even though it may take me a couple of years to do a job, I'm thinking about the goals and what resources we have available. So in order, you've seen me build roads, so here's one road going along here, one margin line here. Here's another road here that's by this lower beaver dam. We have roads we put in this season. This is all last year and the year before. Another road that goes across the upper beaver dam over there. And then there's the roadway that's down here and all. And in order to put these roadways in, one of the things I've done is I've dug up large hugelkultur pits. And hugelkultur, again, is just taking earth, soil, and covering up the woody debris that you're putting into a pit. And that'll all break down over time, and that'll be food for the microorganisms that are going to feed the forest trees that are getting reforested in that part of the forest. And so it's cleaning up all the dead emerald ash the ash trees that the emerald ash insect has damaged, the grapevines, the native grapevines here that have done a lot of damage to the trees. And in the process, gathering up all that woody material and all, digging a big hole, I put the woody material in it, cover it up, and then I have all this gravel, and I'm able to build roads to get to the areas where I can get equipment down into these different locations and be safe. Then I put this canal in here, I think it was last year, and what we're walking on right now is all new soil in here that came out of the canal. So, and it has beautiful rich muck sediment that has gradually come down from the hillside, worked its way down here, and that's what's underneath this. And in each one of these tree tubes are the trees. These are Quercus bicolor, which are swamp oak trees. And so we're going to repopulate this area. There's more bushes and all to go in here. But I mentioned in previous videos that I'm going to be putting in another pond over in this location here. Now, it doesn't make sense to try and cross this canal system that I put in here, because this canal system is designed so that when the beaver ponds overflow into each other, they go across the spillway there and work their way into this canal system. This canal system goes out and goes to another beaver pond system down there, which we haven't done any videos on yet. Well, this canal system here is going to be part of a large pond that's going over in there, because it's all marshy area that's overgrown with lots and lots of dead trees. So I'm going to dig a pond over in that area. Now there's lots of rich, beautiful soil over there that'll be used in different parts of the property. There's all the dead wood that's over there that's going to be used for hugelkultur pits. So all that material is going to be used, but I have to get over to there in order to dig out that pond. So a couple of years ago, I started working on expanding Pond 7. And so we're going to go up there right now, and I probably already have posted a video showing that I was starting to expand Pond 7 now, because this is fall. It's unseasonably warm. It's like 70 degrees this afternoon, and we're headed for some more warm weather the rest of this week, which is really atypical for this time of year. I think we're setting some sort of record. But what we're going to do now, we're going to take a ride up to before we go to Pond 7. We're going to show you that I've got to build a road in order to clear a path down so that I can dig this pond out safely. So we're going to go up there right now. road will all get repaired as well, so that it'll have more gravel on it, so I can safely get equipment around in here. This is all fresh material on top of hugelkultur wood here, in this spot here. And I'll get off here in just a second and show you what we're going to do. So we'll get to pond 7 here in just a second. But whenever I'm have a dream of creating more riparian systems where water can flow through areas, or pond systems and all, I always have to think about, in like keyline design, we want to think of object permanence. And there's not much that I can do about the topography, you know, the elevations on the property, or the type of bedrock, the bony gravel that's here and all. But I can build soil like we've shown in other videos that we can plant gardens in. But really important is to get your access roads to the locations. So hard to see right here. So this is a road we just came up right here. This will be repaired more. This is where I just deposited some of the mucky pond material on top of woody debris right here. And there is a roadway right over in here that was cut out years ago, and I'll show you another spot. Right now I'm walking on a hugelkultur pit here. So there's about 5 foot deep right in here of grapevine material and woody debris that I've been gradually covering with soil bit by bit each time. And that canal system that we're talking about is down there, and that's where the pond's going to be dug. But first I've got to get a good roadway put in here with a good solid base, so I can get the equipment in and out of here and then haul the material that I'm bringing out of here for the various projects and all. But it would cost me a fortune to get this sandy gravel material and buy it and have it all hauled in here. But I need this road in order to dig out the next pond in the next couple of years. So it's going to take a couple of years for me to do that, but I need to put a good solid foundation down in here. And this is a wet area because right over here is probably the first well that was put on the property many years ago. So right down there, I don't know if you could see it, that's just 2 feet below the surface here. It's water right there. So that's an old pond. No one knows the history of this the old well. I'm sorry. No one knows the history of it. I discovered it about probably a little over 40 years ago. I found this pond down here, this well down here. And of course it's always been very marshy here, and that's why I put the canal system in. And there's lots of sand down in here. So this is part of the recharging system for the aquifer that feeds this whole area here. So that's why it's so important, and the beavers are doing such a great job. But I need to build a good solid foundation on the top of this sediment that's been coming from working its way down this hill gradually over the years. Get a good driveway in here, then I can dig that pond out, and I'll talk about in future videos what we're going to use that material for. But it's taking a lot of material just to build these roads. So that's why I'm expanding pond 7, because we're accomplishing 2 things when we're doing this. So we're having multiple functions for digging the pond. So we have the pond for irrigation, we have the pond for, sorry, I'm having the sun in the background there. The pond for the irrigation, the pond for draining from our other swales into that pond. And this pond actually overflows over here and goes into the woods, into the forest over there. And over in that location is where the vernal pools are, which is really important for the wood frogs and the salamanders and all of the woodland amphibians, and even some of the turtles here as well. So up here by Pond 7, even though we're going uphill a little bit right here, so this pond was originally just a circular pond right over in here. And I'll try to find a link to a video that I made a couple years ago using Bumblebee, which is a Komatsu PC27 MR2, and the Komatsu CK35-1, which is a track loader, to dig this out. And then it went right up a nice ramp over here, and hopefully if I posted a video showing me to dig it out to here. And this morning before breakfast I came down and started digging more of this material. So that big pile that I piled up over there, that was used for building the roadways that you've seen so far. And a lot of that was real wet, muddy material that I dug out of there. That's why I got that out of the way. This is drier material here, and I'm being very careful as I'm digging this out not to dig into the pond level yet. Dig all my area out, dig a little bit low, and then I'll just push that material up. And then I'll gently slope this area as well. So I've got a couple of piles that should get me just about down to the area for digging out the pond. So this pond is giving us multi-functions. It creates a beautiful aquatic ecosystem for all the wildlife to be here, because it's pretty far back from the upper area. There's going to be a nice ingress location for the deer and the wildlife to get in here. It's large enough that the ducks like being in here in the summertime as well. And it also is a reservoir as our other ponds overflow and work their way into this by the spillway coming into that location. So and the material that's coming out of there is being used to create roads as well. So there's multiple functions that we're getting out of this one activity. And then we'll have more functions that we get out of the materials that we dig out of the pond that's even lower on the property, where there's much more beautiful, rich sediment that's been accumulating because it's down the slope of the hill. So I hope this all makes sense. And I've been jibber-jabbering here as well. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. If you found this video of value, give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. It helps the channel, more people to find our channel. And by all means, folks, take good care of yourselves and stay safe. Bye-bye now.